So, you're ready to study computer science, but where do you start? Again, make sure that you really have a strong foundation in computational thinking. Learning how to translate a solution into different languages is nowhere near as hard as learning how to actually solve problems. So it's really important that you first teach students how to break down problems and how to communicate them to a computer. Once you've got an idea of how to solve problems for a computer, I like to start with block-based programming languages. These are things like Snap or Scratch, where you are physically dragging visual blocks around on a page to create your code. This makes it really easy to communicate your problems to a computer as quickly as possible and saves you a lot of the headache of missing a semicolon or a curly brace. So it's a really nice introduction for somebody that's brand new or maybe somebody that's a little younger. But once you have a good grasp on block-based programming languages, you're going to want to progress on. And I like to start people off with building websites. We all probably have used plenty of websites in our life and have a good idea of what we like and what we might want it to look like. It's a really good way to introduce people to taking human thoughts and translating them in computer languages. So learning things like HTML and CSS, while they're not programming languages, are a good exercise in breaking down problems. Once you've built a couple websites, you might want to dive into the world of programming languages. You're probably going to learn something like Java or Python or C++ to start. You could even learn something like C. But I personally like to start with an object-oriented language because it makes it easier to use a whole bunch of tools very quickly. A lot of people think this is where it ends, but in fact, there's so much more. And in fact, if you want to be a superstar software engineer, you need to make sure that you're continuing your education. You're going to want to make sure that you take a deep look at something called data structures and algorithms. In fact, in college, that's probably the most important course I ever took. It's an idea of how to take data and structure it in an organized manner and make your code as efficient as possible. This is probably what you're going to do every single day as a software engineer. And so to make sure that you have a really strong foundation in data structures like binary trees, arrays, lists, all of that stuff is going to be incredibly valuable to you when you become a developer. And then finally, the most requested skill by Microsoft software hiring managers is something called object-oriented design. These days, software is really big and complicated, and a lot of people work on it. And when you think about how to architect your code in a way that's easy to maintain and easy for other people to read, it makes you an ideal teammate. So if you can really master the world of object-oriented design, you're definitely going to be a superstar computer scientist. So hopefully you have an idea of where to start, and please look here for some more resources on things you can study to move forward. We can't wait to have you in the world of computer science. Thank you so much for all your time, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions.